Hello, my name is Kathleene Campbell, and I am a parent of a sixth grader here in Rutherford, New Jersey, in Bergen County. And I'm writing because I need some help, and I think that the best way to do that is to contact the media, and hopefully somebody will watch this and see what's going on and help me, truly. So my district recently approved social emotional learning district-wide from K through 12. And that was done on August 23rd in the Board of Education meeting. And the new district goal, and I quote, is to continue to build capacity of teachers and staff to integrate social emotional learning at all grade levels. The social isolation and anxiety that has grown with the COVID-19 pandemic, students and staff are increasingly in need of this support. Existing programs in place will be augmented by Care Plus New Jersey and training through Ramapo for Children and CASEL, end quote. When I wrote to my son's principal at Pierpont Elementary, Mrs. Joan Carrion, back in September, she told me, quote, information about social emotional learning instruction is embedded in various curricula for grade 6. The curriculum is available online, the district website, and is updated as the Board of Ed approves each course. I have also attached the SEL competencies that the New Jersey Department of Education requires schools to infuse into their curriculum, end quote. Again, that was Principal Joan Carrion. I recently went quite down a rabbit hole, and I learned that New Jersey does not require social emotional learning. In fact, quite the opposite. If you go to the DOE website, you will find out that it states the New Jersey Department of Education has been promoting social and emotional learning to enhance the building of positive school climates and the healthy development of young people. It is not a mandate that you need to undergo social emotional learning in order to graduate high school. So I had gone back to carry on with this information, and she then advised me that social emotional learning was approved as a school and district goal. Not what she originally said. Originally, she lied to me and told me that the New Jersey Department of Education required it, and that is not the case at all. And I've proven that to her. So, fast forward to yesterday, October 22nd. I have been given access to all of my son's lesson plans. And on Tuesday, I was going through and I noticed that there's a social emotional learning activity to take place in math class. My son's teacher, Mrs. Kristen Dulce, she wound up sending it to me on Thursday. Evidently, it wasn't ready at time of her submitting her lesson plans. So I waited and I reviewed it, and I was not very happy about it at all. So I spoke to some people in a Facebook group, No Left Turn in Education in New Jersey, and they said, no, you can get out of social emotional learning. It's not a requirement that you're allowed to opt out. And I said, well, my principal told me that I couldn't. So, okay, at that point, I then tell the school, principal, the teacher, and our superintendent, Jack Hurley, my son is absolutely not to do this social emotional learning activity until we get to the bottom of what is and is not allowed, what our legal rights are, and we're still in open communication about it. Should it turn out that he absolutely must do the assignment, then he could do it at a later date, but he is not to do it yet. My son Julian comes home last night and tells me, oh yeah, they gave it to me. And I will say that my mind thought it was going to blow up. Excuse me. the fact that these districts are truly taking away excuse me, our children's rights and stripping our parental rights is frightening to me. And the fact that they're using social emotional learning to do that is even more concerning, because this is behavior modification and conditioning, which is ultimately indoctrination. And I mean, there's so many lies that are attached to this that my district has told me, that I have in email, that I have in meeting recordings, that I've had directly with them. I just don't know what to do at this point. And the scary part is this new learning program. One, we have a medical clinician that's on site in our schools now, overseeing it and helping the teachers with it. Now, if you remember back to what I stated was the new goal, it basically said it was due to social isolation and anxiety from COVID pandemic. My son didn't feel any anxiety. He did very well, actually. He didn't miss one day of school. He got straight A's. He was on time for everything, and in fact, it helped him establish even more responsibility, because now it was on him to make sure that he got to those classes at a specific time. So my son doesn't fall underneath what the Board of Education thinks that he should be a part of. It's a blanket statement that all the children are having that. It's great that we have support for the families and the children who might need it, but my child doesn't. And the fact that our teachers are not medically certified to truly be teaching social emotional learning is dangerous. It is dangerous. More so, it is not showing in our curriculum whatsoever, which tells me the district is not being transparent. The only place that I learned of it was in our Board of Education meeting from August 23rd. That was 2 months ago today. And yet there has not been one email, one memo, one message at all from the district telling parents, hey, guess what? Your children are now going to be part of a social emotional learning experiment is really what it is, an experiment. To be told that you can't opt out of it is crazy, because how do you grade feelings? You can't. And who's going to take that information? Where is that data going to go? To what end is this going to be? So, I know I'm rambling. There's so much more I could say. I see I'm already at 8 minutes. But I just need help. Because, of course, you're really not seeing any of this happening. This is right here in New Jersey. And I just need to know that I'm doing the right thing by my son. I've been protecting him his whole life. And he's a bright boy. He does not deserve this. And to be quite frank, I don't think most of the children deserve this. I did not opt for therapy for my child because he does not need it. He acts appropriate for his age. Excuse me, I'm sorry. He's no signs of depression. There's no evidence of self-harm. He's a happy boy. And now you want to tell him how he has to feel? Give him lessons on empathy? Everybody deserves empathy? No, they don't. Not everyone deserves empathy. And don't tell my kid he has to. But, I'm sorry, that's digressing. So, if somebody could please listen to this and help me bring this to the media and bring this to the forefront. I'm sure my district of Rutherford is not the only one that this is happening. I've learned that there are federal funds that have been granted to districts, and it's to create a memorandum for dealing with social emotional learning. That's coming from the federal government. So of course it's going to show up everywhere and in every district. And the sad part is parents don't know because the district isn't telling them. They're hiding it in the Board of Education meetings, and they're not bringing it to the forefront and advising parents. And I think that there's something very wrong with that. If we need to have a medical clinician assisting our teaching staff, that should be a big red flag to anybody. Mental health is incredibly important. I'm not downplaying that whatsoever. I firmly believe it's incredibly important. But right now it seems like they're doing it at the expense of our children. And I keep getting kickback and I keep getting lied to, and I'm frustrated and I'm mad because my baby deserves so much better. Ugh, sorry. It's like the last thing I want to do is be crying, but this is really important to me. And I hope somebody can help. I can support everything that I have, emails, video, I have everything. I don't delete anything. And I've done my research. So, sorry, my heart. Anyway, my name is Kathleene Campbell, and I live in Rutherford, New Jersey, in Bergen County. As I think I said in the beginning. My phone number is 973-704-4500. My email is krc1222, so 1222, at comcast.net, comcast.net. If you're watching this and you can't help me, but you know somebody who can, please point me in that direction. Because I feel like I'm in this fight alone. Because too many parents are afraid to speak up, especially with Garland putting out that domestic terrorist threat. But my convictions are strong, and my child is more important to me than anything in this world. So I will fight and fight and fight as much as I have to, because our children deserve the best, and they don't deserve to be a part of a science experiment, and they don't deserve to be indoctrinated, and that's not the America that I know and love. So thank you for listening, and I do hope that I hear from somebody. Take care.